Teammate Richard, the new state champ band. Got Vegan Cyclist. Teammate Alex next to him there. Got Ryan in front of me, junior guy, Velo Kinks, and then Team Swift, a couple guys there. Anthony right there, the Revs kit. He is the newest Velo King as of last night. So excited to have him. He's 20 years old, I think, maybe 21. Super ambitious, just wanting to learn, wanting to race, been coming out here. And so we'll have him. And then there's Alex, aka Wool Socks, right here. Dude's a motor. He's a diesel. He's a phenom. I think he started riding like April. Bought a bike during COVID. Started coming out here, and just has a freaking engine. So he'll animate things. I'm talking to this is Aaron. I'm talking to here. He's hit me up on Instagram. Wanting to know where to ride locally. Invited him to come out here. He just moved back here from the Bay Area.
Yeah, just like follow the guys when you get your drive activity that are on this activity. Gary does a lot of big long rides.
There's Gary right there off the front kit. Some of you guys know Steve Bruce's Cycling Greek. That's his team. Is also off the front. Got Russ in front of me there in the white Velo Kings kit. Diego directly in front of me. Diego is a first-year racer, but getting stronger and fitter, and he's racing well. So, but yeah, Richard's got his got a state champ armband on his kit now. He won the time trial district championship for his age category, 40 to 44, this past Saturday. So now there's two of us with the armbands. I won my TT again. I had won in 2019 also. We didn't do it last year, but put in a pretty good time. So it's time to get serious. Let's get our game on here. I got to go patrol, see what's going on in the front. Saw some guys sneak away. Got this hairpin. You can see the map on the left side of the screen there, and that kind of doubles back, goes up the hill. This is Old Friant Road, and then kind of doubles back onto Friant Road. So I'm going to make sure these guys don't get too out of hand up here. Let's see who we have. I think this is Team Swift and Ryan. So the juniors are kind of duking it out here. Ryan's attacking pretty hard on the hill. Looks like Ben's second wheel, and maybe Matthew third wheel, or I think it's Matthew. Maybe it's, who do we have? Check that. That's Tyler. So Tyler's third wheel on this one. So it looks like Ryan and Ben, Team Swift, and then Tyler. Kind of dragging us up the hill, and it's kind of all back together. I know he's had a ton of miles on his legs. I don't know how that translates to race fitness, but dude has been putting more miles in with all the Impossible Route stuff and crazy mountain bike stuff, traveling all over. Good to have him back out here, back to his roots. And there's Jimmy Barbosa, teammate, took a little flyer off the front there. And so I'm not going to chase that, but I guess Diego is. Still learning team tactics. Got anything goes on Pumpkin Valley. And but he kind of drags the field up to Jimmy. Would have been better if he just attacked hard and tried to get separation. But first lap, it's all good. Jimmy's probably just stretching his legs a little bit anyway. Comes an attack up the left side. That's Matthew. Team Swift.
Not chasing your teammates down.
And then Ben goes. It kind of goes. And so I just bridge up to that. They put in a pretty good effort here on the top. And it's kind of the 3 of us here, I guess. But it looks like field's kind of coming back together. You can see I'm just kind of coasting through. So I'm sitting on the front. We're all back together here. Usually you get a, and is Ryan gonna throw down a counter? Yeah, he does. And looks like we got Woolsocks Alex, and kind of the field fills in. I just kind of slot back over here. I'll let Ryan to jump on here. He went pretty hard up the hill. He's probably still needed better off, kind of recovering, waiting for a little more strategic or timed attack. There's Richard behind me. We're just kind of lined out here. Yeah, we get a crosswind, kind of a right to left crosswind. So you kind of want to echelon left. Fortunately, the road's pretty wide here. Pretty open and visible too. Plus, there's a ton of glass. We just have some really awesome motorists in Fresno that like to, drive drunk and, do so with glass bottles and then throw them out on the bike lane for us. So this section here, we're usually yelling glass and having to they're kind enough to just throw it in the bike lane, not in the road. So if you go kind of left of the line here, you can clear it. But we're kind of coming up now on the kind of turnaround back to the downhill. I think I put in a little effort here. Kind of see, it looks like we got Alex kind of jumping on the wheel. Not sure if we're gonna stay away here or not. Looks like we're not. This downhill, it's hard to get away on a downhill, but you can see we're just kind of rolling through, kind of reshuffles, and then the little counterattack going there. Matthew Team Swift. Sits back up, reshuffles again. So we're coming into 4 to go on this lap here. Got Tyler pulling through, sitting on Alex's wheel here. I mean, we're still cruising. We're scooting, 28, 29 miles an hour here. So we kind of come around here, and this is kind of the headwind section. That was the second to the last turn. I kind of just TT a little bit here, keeping the pace high, but it definitely slows a little bit here. So, and then Alex comes through. He's just a big draft. He's a big wheel to follow. It's great. Looks like an attack up the left side. Looks like Alex and maybe Richard on his wheel. And I kind of have other Alex here kind of pulling it up, so I just kind of sit on his wheel here. And then so now it turns this kind of finishing stretch. It's almost a tailwind right through here. So we all kind of sit up. Everyone usually kind of regroups here because there's usually an attack on that hill coming up here, so it's usually pretty chill. Ride Bikes Alex is up the road here, but he's not turning too hard. He's just he just kind of floated out there. So I kind of surge up a little bit just to kind of stitch it up, and then I'll recover for the little hairpin, and then be ready for the hill for the next attack. So that was start finish, coming into 4 to go now. It's starting to get dark, so I think next week we'll probably just do 4 laps. Eventually I think it'd make more sense just to kill the neutral lap and just go hot, because we start from the Starbucks. I don't record that part, but it's a good, 1.5 mile rollout, and then we really do. It's almost, the neutral lap is like a lap and a half, is where you enter the lap before it starts. So we'll figure out how to make it work. At least try to keep it going till the time change, and it's just straight up dark. But good times here. So.
Four to go.
So yeah, coming up the hill, 4 to go. It's a pretty hard attack. Almost a heart attack. But it's Alex, and they kind of just look back and see that kind of closing it. But ride bikes, Alex, Ilias, and Matthew, Team Swift. I think Matthew's like done. Like, I got my digs in, so I'm gonna go ride somewhere else. I think he kind of pulls off, and I don't know, just take off and ride somewhere else, whatever. Glad they came out. But I got Woolsock's Alex behind me here. Got Craig behind him, the red jersey. But and I think we've shed a few guys just from the shots fired from the prior attacks on the last lap. Ilias is a good sprinter. Didn't race a ton this year, but he's a solid guy. So now it just kind of slows along the top, and we're just waiting to see who's going to do what next. We got 1 down, 4 to go here. 3.5 to go, I guess. We're about a half lap. About right here. And Tyler looks like he's sitting kind of on my wheel as I pull through. And we'll hit that wind again. Again, we get some kind of, the wind comes up the bluff off the river bottom, so we get a little right to left crosswind here. Then Tyler pulls through. And Alex pulls through. Kind of slot back in here in front of Craig. And this guy takes a big dig on the front. He's usually got all his lights on his bike. He commutes, and I think has had some bicycle to car collisions. He's been hit, so he usually has a lot of lights. I think he has like 3 or 4 Night Rider lights on the front, so definitely see him come from the front typically, but it didn't look like he's got a ton of tail lights. I don't know if that one's maybe battery's dead on it or what, but he takes us across the top here. puts in a good solid dig, 26, 27 miles an hour. I guess he's slowing down a little here at 25, but fast enough that not a ton of attacks getting launched. I think I jump here just to see who wants to go. I'm too far forward to attack really, but just trying to get some guys to go. Maybe wear down their legs a little bit. But Alex goes with me here, and so we got a good little gap rolling in the downhill. And so this is, you know, showing a little promise. It's early in the race, but dang, last week, episode 23, it's up on the channel. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. Alex and I do a monster kind of TT effort, damn near the whole race, a 2-minute break.
Me and you.
And so we're throwing down some power, you know, 38, but Alex is sprinting to get up, so we got Ride Bikes Alex coming up behind Woolsocks Alex, and looks like Ilias came with him too. So I'm like, hey, this can work too. We got a double Alex and an Ilias in the selection. I'm good with this. Let's roll this one. 4 guys. A lot less work in a break than there's just 2 guys working solo. But
Let him pull through, Alex.
Alex kind of slows up a little bit,
We got it.
and they're closing. So I think they ultimately kind of attach back on here. You know, nothing venture, nothing gain.
We're on.
So say they're on. He's still pulling.
Back on.
So again, I think I talked to him.
Good try. Yeah, if I yell we're on, just pull the plug. Save it. I know you have unlimited power on tap. Maybe not today.
He's definitely got some power, but we're all back together. There's no point just putting in a huge dig there, because you kind of want to regroup for that hill. Kind of swing wide there just to kind of clear my nose a little bit, try not to spread any mucus around.
Starting in April, don't you think? Unreal, right?
Yeah, so I'm telling Tyler that Woolsocks started riding in April. And just is crushing it. Just crushing
Woolsocks
it.
Alex, not to be mistaken for Ride Bikes Alex.
There's Richard, that white and red armband. So I think it's kind of good, because now, you know, if he gets in a break, then kind of glance back. I don't know if it's me or if it's Richard now, so I don't stand out as much. Both have kind of same color bikes, white shoes, helmets. So this is kind of that finishing stretch. I think we're going to see 3 to go here. Yes, it's about a 10-minute lap time, something like that. Depending on how animated it is. So Alex kind of swings off. I think Tyler rolled off the front here. Maybe it's next lap. It's a 3 to go. I think we're on 3 to go though.
3 to go.
Yeah, 3 to go. It's pretty hot today. It was, I mean, you know, 104 or something. I think it was like 92 last week. It was great, but it's definitely a hot one. So it's good, good kind of heat stress training. We had our district state champ crit in Atwater, just an hour or so north of Fresno, hour and a half, whatever, on Sunday, and it was hot there. But I think our guys kind of had a pretty good edge from doing some of the speed work here, but just doing it in the heat too. So
it'll go on the hill whether we keep it or not. That's what I'm trying to chill out right now. I know.
Back up the hill now. We're on 3 to go.
Looks like we shed the Swift kids.
Notice our, Matthew and Ben are no longer participants. So, kind of just Velo Kings versus ride bikes now. So kind of a 2-team dynamic here. Tyler kind of ramps it up on the hill here, almost to the top. I could just kind of stretch everyone out. I don't know that maybe it might have snapped a couple guys off the back. That's not too bad if you can sit on a wheel here. So I kind of pulled through. You see my hand there, kind of in that praying mantis position. So I've got my wrists over the tops, but I'm holding on to the shift levers with my fingers. So just trying to kind of get low, make some speed without burning up a lot of watts. I think as soon as we pass these bushes here, you really kind of feel that crosswind, kind of cross headwind. Got Alex pulling through, and I guess Diego, Velo Kings in front of him, and then Tyler, and then Richard, Esteban, and it looks like Craig behind me, so I kind of slot in here. I think I throw an attack here. So gotta keep everyone on their toes a little bit. So we got ride bikes, Alex there behind Craig, and then Anthony, Rev's kid. They'll have a Velo Kings kid on moving forward. Just brought him on the team yesterday. This is good. See, Alex is nice enough to give him some pointers. He's kind of new to racing, and so trying to help our sport. You get young guys that are motivated to ride their bikes and to race. So try to give them some guidance and support whenever we can. So it's a great format for that. Because in a race you wouldn't be talking like that. So it's kind of nice to kind of have that. But his fitness has come along. Anthony's is there, the green and black kit. So
Last ride, guys.
we just kind of keep coaching them up, keep building them up, and just keep getting faster. So I got Alex ride bikes in front of me, and Tyler's kind of hanging back on my wheel. Got Richard directly in front of me.
I'll get it. Just let it open up.
So I think I kind of attack right now. And I'm going pretty hard. I think I hit 1200 or something. But just a big old whopping kind of attack. And we were rolling at 26, 27. I ramped it up to 34 here. Still on the power. Tyler's reached up to me, but then Alex kind of jumps on too, and I was like, man, Alex, you should have let Tyler go. Selfishly, because I just wanted to be in a break with Tyler. Really good.
Go fast.
And that's right, Alex would roll off the front, so I was going to bridge up to him and try to keep it rolling. again, we're already kind of on the downhill now, so it's hard to. Everyone can kind of go fast here. So I think it kind of just comes back together. We just kind of stretched, it didn't quite snap. And then Alex does a counterattack, which is pretty good. But we'll kind of let him go. No one chases him. We'll kind of let him dangle out there. Not too worried about it. He's more of a sprinter. So we'll kind of let him go up the road. We still got a lot of racing left coming into, 2 to go still. So I don't think he could TT it away for 25 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever we have left. At some point, like, Tyler, dude, that was the break, man. Could have been the three of us, because he had Alex up the road here. He's on the wheel now. Woolsock's Alex, and
I also let you go instead of dragging when we'd be in the break right now. Now you shall pay.
Like, now you shall pay. It's all good. That was a pretty hard attack. I don't have much left to make anyone pay. I'm just trying to pay my own way here. But Alex is on the front, chasing down Alex. And so I think it kind of regroups and kind of shuffles the deck here on the headwind section going into the last turn. I just kind of ramp it up. I think we have some. I don't know if they're lap right. I think they're just other cyclists that are out. It's kind of a nice training loop, so we try to be courteous. So we're gonna just stampede and freight train them. Call it out and try to go wide. We have a couple more here. So Tyler kind of rolls off here. Creates some separation. Got Richard behind me. He goes, so I'm just gonna let this go and see if those two guys can work to steal. Richard looks back, he's like, am I doing this by myself? I'm like, yeah, dog, that's all you. Because then Alex, Ride Bikes Alex pulls up next to you here. 2 to go, and we got our Ride Bikes, we got Tyler, and we got Velo King's Richard up the road. So I'm just gonna kind of sit tempo here, and I'm not gonna chase him down. I'm okay if it opens up and see if those guys can kind of stay away and let the chips fall where they may between those two. Tyler's, probably got an advantage on that hill, but Richard's a really good sprinter, and so if he can just work together until they're working for the win instead of for the breakaway to succeed. Should be interesting to just kind of see how this one unfolds.
2 to go. 1 to go till 1 to go. Oh, perfect.
I think someone's wishing it was 1 to go. I'm like, yeah, no, it's 2 to go. It's 2 to go. We got about 15 minutes of racing left here. So now we're just talking bike parts.
Nice. Oh wow, that's a good flare. I love it. For me, it really doesn't matter what it is. After about 8 rides, it all feels normal. I'm all normal. And then when you change, anything else feels bizarre. Yeah, it's all normal. Yeah.
So they just passed us going to the hill. So they get a pretty good gap opened up.
On the inside, go wide, guys.
So we got a couple more guys that are just out riding, so make sure we all go wide. Give these guys plenty of room.
Left side, left side. Give him room, guys, give him room. Is the only thing better than you being in the break? Those two being in the break.
That's right. It's nice to watch someone else in the break.
Oh, you cannot. It's like a box band on the road.
So then Alex is like, Woolsock's Alex is like, I don't have a teammate to break, so I'm gonna diesel through to pull this thing back. And so, we're 2 to go here, and he's pulling. And so, I don't want to take any pulls and hurt Richard's chance for the break to succeed and stuff. Poor Alex here. He puts in, just watch this effort. This is impressive. He just sits on the front and just starts trying to pull him back by himself. And so those guys, you can barely see him up the road in front of them. Like there's a solid, gosh, more than a minute, gap opened up there. I'm going to say maybe 70 seconds, 80 seconds. With 15, about 15 minutes of racing left right now. So he pulls it. Alex is saying, Mark, you don't want third, trying to get me to work with him to bring that back. So I kind of pulled through, but I'm not going to ramp it up. I'm doing 170 watts here. Not enough. So he's got to come back through. He's getting a little recovery in. There he goes again. I think he bumps up, 26, 27 here. And kind of depending on how cohesive, Richard and Tyler are together working up the front, or off the front there in that break. This is a tall order for Alex. He's calling off the glass. Yeah, I think on the bottom here, Ilias rolls up and is like, hey, I can get you maybe halfway across, going into Bell Lap. I said, yeah, because if we attack, we'll just pull right by Alex with us, and then, we just brought the strongest sprinter across. So, unfortunately, the fate of this field depends on Woolsock's Alex. It's a good guy to depend on. He's diesel and he's a big draft, so I can just kind of sit here echelon left with that crosswind and just kind of chill. Checking to see if anyone's going to pull through for him. Everyone else, we're all kind of pretty cooked too, so. So I'm not going to not pull through the elbows, but, I kind of sit on the front, and I don't think anyone's going to pull through in front of me. So Alex, Red Bike's Alex, is not going to put on any watts. So Alex Johnson, the Woolsocks, he's got to kind of get back on front now and keep it going. So there's Ilias in front of me. We've got Esteban behind me. And then Craig, Diego back behind Esteban. Kind of just goes, no watts, cadence. Just kind of sitting on the draft on this kind of bottom out section of the downhill before it kind of hit the wind. Well, it's not a lot of wind, but definitely, you know, left to right, and then turns into a headwind here. But I mean, those guys are up the road. Even, you know, you'll see them when we hit that hairpin heading towards it, and they're kind of heading up past it. Yeah, no one really pulling through for Alex there. So I think he's going to realize, like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, and he's going to have to roll it across.
Yeah, 30 seconds, 40 maybe. Oh yeah. That's just that one trailer. That's just that. Yeah, maybe.
Yes, I think we can kind of see him here. You can see it on screen or not. But they're on around, you know, 50 seconds, something like that.
See what it looks like on the top.
There's Elias saying, hey, do you want to kind of go across?
Probably not. This Richard would be so pissed if Alex got on our wheel and he did it.
Yeah, I don't
know, follow it if it goes, but don't.
Let's see if he can hold off the charge. But Alex starts putting down some power here. You know, we're sitting fourth wheel, and he's kind of one to go. Bell lap right there, start finish. One to go.
Bell lap. Yeah. I promise. Good. It's tough when it's you against the world.
It is tough. You against the world. Kind of was.
It broke down. When you got the two teams in the break. Yeah, I know. The rest of the two teams not supposed to. I mean, it's a practice race. It's whatever. But if it was me, I don't care if Richard tries to chase me down, but I kind of want to see what he can do with Tyler at the end here.
So we should see them on the right side coming back up on the other side of the ditch there. There they are. So we'll call that mile marker. I'll look at the time.
It's starting to get dark too. Yeah, I brought my lights today. You brought my light glasses?
So I'll kind of see what the gap is. 10 seconds. There's 20 seconds. So about 30-second gap.
So now technically at some point, if you're not going to bridge, you limit your losses and recover from the field sprint for third. But I don't mind sitting on your wheel the whole time either, so. Yeah.
Alex, I just want to see if I can catch it. Like,
make a great video.
So he kind of just puts his head down here, and this is where he really, I think, you know, last lap he didn't, he pulled hard, but he kind of empties it here to get it across, because those guys are speeding up now. I think what happened was Tyler attacked Richard on this hill, which I kind of thought might happen, and so then Richard's like, well, I'm not working with you now, and so...
Try to get low, get arrow. There you
it
go.
was beneficial to the chase because the cohesiveness after Tyler's attack of those two in the break together, that kind of broke down. That kind of broke that bond. So there's the truce is off, so to speak.
Try wrapping your pinkies like this. Pinky underneath, and then grab on top on your hood.
So
Hook your pinkies. If you can make power to that, that's most arrow.
So I'm like, I can't take any pulls, but I can tell you how I would do it if I was pulling. And so, if you see me, I get pretty arrow, get pretty low, put my face down, right over my stem. I can make, and it doesn't impact, my ability to make power. Some guys, can't make power. It's not worth the body position sacrifice for the power loss or whatever. But definitely want to stay low. You don't want your arms on your hood, hands on the hoods, and arms straight, just eat wind. You want to be hinged over.
Steady and smooth.
It's kind of nice to have someone else pull me around. I'm used to the one sitting there eating wind, dragging the field. So this is way nice. It's like being on an e-bike compared to being in the front. I'm so crosswind here. I'm 180, 200 watts, whatever. And he's putting down, probably 330, 340, maybe 350 with that body position. He doesn't have power meter. So whenever we're in break, and it's like, how much power are you putting down? I'll tell him, I'll be like, if you're working on the front, you be putting down more because you don't get quite as low. So it produces the same speed when he's on the front. Would definitely take some more watts. But just a strong move here, strong effort across here. It's just, getting us across. I think we get a little glimpse of him here before the downhill. But it's kind of cool how this one kind of unfolds. You see this stuff like in the World Tour where you've got a breakaway up the road, 10K to go. Are they going to get caught by the field? 5K to go, and sometimes it comes right down to the line between the break and, or they caught like 50 meters to go. And so I don't want to spoil it, but you kind of just see him up the road there. So he's definitely, pulled back a ton of seconds here. We're maybe 10 seconds behind now, maybe 15. You can just see them up the road. They're just getting ready to turn. And I still see them, so they just turned. Let's see if we can figure out a time gap here. And maybe 12 seconds right here.
Going down the hill, they're pedaling.
There, so you can see them. They're in the sights now, and so we're going to catch. We've got the right-hander, and then the kind of a right-hand sweeper coming up here, and then the left into the headwind, and then the final turn. But it's still kind of a downhill. I think Richard's got a rear camera with a light on it, so you kind of see that flickering a little bit up ahead. So honestly, I didn't think.
Dude, you're a freaking stud, Alex.
You're a stud, dude. I didn't think we were going to catch him. So I hadn't really thought through, like, okay, what's the game plan if we do bring it back? Because ride bikes, Alex can definitely sprint. Alex Johnson here, Woolsocks Alex in front of me, he's pretty cooked. I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, he's putting in just a monster, effort here. Still pulling 30 miles an hour. I think we catch him right after this left-hander onto that kind of little headwind section here before the finish. And I probably should have just attacked right here. if I'm going to stand a chance against Ride Bikes Alex, who's behind me in the sprint.
Hey, try to recover. Tyler, go! Empty, empty, empty!
And there's Alex telling him, Tyler, go, empty, empty, empty. And I kind of thought he was, but I think I just got decoyed a little bit there. So I kind of come through, and I try to swing over to give Richard a wheel to follow, but Alex has a little more momentum. He kind of comes through, so I go a little further left. You know, I'm seated, 900 watts seated here, but can't quite get my wheel. Then Alex does a little. Like, yeah, later or something, and he's gone. I mean, he can freaking sprint. And so then I'm like, oh, these guys are going to try to snipe me at the line. So you got Ilias and Craig, and clearly, I'm going to say centerline violation to you guys. I'm just kidding. That was a fun one, though, man. I mean, you know, to have those kind of race dynamics on the practice race was really cool. We all give Alex a huge fist bump for the pull. Yeah, that right goes to Alex.
That was cool, dude. Nice work, Alex.
So there you go. Episode 24 in the books. Ride Bikes takes it. Thanks for watching. We'll try to keep these going on the channel here.
Dude.
That was nuts. Good job, Alex.
Full lap solo.
Well, Tyler attacked me on the hill.
So yeah, you get the breakdown. Yeah, so they probably could have
get in front of you there at the end, but
I got behind you. I cut Woolsock off.
Okay.
Cut Woolsock.
Yeah, I figured you were probably.
So buy your Woolsocks now, because there's going
to
be a huge run on this. They're super popular.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Thanks everyone for watching.